Before I get into this pit of depravity, I thought I would share something happy. I was so stoked when my friend Apollo gifted me this avatar version of myself. I think it's adorable. I really like the outfit design that she came up with. All of her links will be down in the description below, you should check her out. I never like it when people say another day, another misconduct case, because it sounds like we're bored of hearing people's stories, and while it can get repetitive over time, each of these stories are important and should be listened to. If anything, we should be outraged that these are more common than we might have thought beforehand. And I think that we should be proud of a society that more people are willing to come forward with their stories, rather than be frustrated by the sheer amount of them. Today's subject is Elliot Gindi. You might know Elliot Gindi as he is a freelance voice actor and narrator based in Brooklyn, New York. He's the English voice actor for Tighnari in Genshin Impact, and he's also been the voice actor of Billy and the Yells in 2022's Pokémon Journeys the series. On the 8th of February, Fretcore on Twitter, who was one of Gindi's main Twitch and Discord moderators, shared a Google Doc detailing allegations against Gindi. I won't be reading the entirety of the document, I will link it down in the description, but I will read snippets so you can understand what exactly is being alleged. The first part of the document is a conversation between somebody making allegations against Gindi and one of his Discord moderators. He used me opening up about SA to get closer to me. I was still 17 at the time. It was about 2 weeks before my birthday. He also made weird comments about my sexuality and trying to insist pairing me up with my friends because me being bi is hot. Oh, and this fetishization of bisexuality continues. He also had a contract, as he said, with me, with rules like I can't be with other guys, but girls are okay? Like what? Let's add in some ace phobia, shall we? I'm on the ace spectrum, but he always insisted he could change that. Shall we go the extra mile with transphobia? And he always feminized me even after I finally told him I'm not comfortable with feminine pronouns and to please stop using my legal name. But I can tell he didn't give a about my gender, and he always subtly tried to convince me that I shouldn't get top surgery. Gindi has been accused of specifically targeting those with trauma and mental health issues. I also have BPD, so my attachment tends to be strong, but he also made me split and spiral a lot and set off my PTSD. During one of my episodes, I ended up ghosting him and having one of my friends kick him out of our private server. He wiped everything. And later on in the document, it is stated, like he knew about everyone's traumas and used it to get to us. Everyone he's gone after is heavily traumatized and has mental illnesses. Now we reach the most pertinent point of misconduct. Pretty much all conversations with him were on Snap, like he would text me all day, like where he told me he liked me literally the day after I told him about my trauma. He would also tell me about all the adult things he wants to do to me. And he definitely showed me his genitalia when I was a minor. Also, whenever I tried to say I was uncomfortable, he'd say stuff like, "So you don't trust me?" Gindi is also being accused of using self-delete baiting, and he spooked me a bit by saying that if this ever got out, he would himself. But he would have like video calls where he'd talk me into stripping. Within private messages with somebody who I believe is a moderator, Gindi turns up the self-delete baiting. "I want to die, I am scum. I was negligent and I did this. How can I live with that? What the F is wrong with me?" But then later on, when the moderator replies to them, "Is it public posts?" Gindi says, "Nah, I was kinda smart. No paper trail and all. There's no real evidence. There's some from today, but it's like me apologizing for not being there, which is why they went to friends. They are effing nuts. Bipolar and shoulda seen it coming." So, in one breath, Gindi is saying that he feels terrible and doesn't want to live anymore, and on the other, well, there isn't any evidence and they were crazy anyway, am I right? My heart will not stop racing, I cannot eat or sleep, and I'm seriously considering pills or something to make the pain go away, like it's bad. I know you got your own shit to deal with, I'm only hitting you up out of sheer desperation, maybe to hear I'm not evil. Gotta say, you not replying scared the shit out of me. Hell yeah, a concert on Twitch. I'm not in a financial position to be getting a life coach, but I'll tell you what, called a good few friends, women, I explained myself like I did to you, and honestly, I can live with myself. I've never done anything like this before. I'm not an undesirable, and there's nothing to gain going public if this is an isolated incident, which I can assure you it will be. I always want to be a positive force for women in any community I'm in, and I'm just going to continue to do so and never make this error again. If anyone ever speaks to you like this, run. This is a pure manipulation tactic. The first thing that a person will do if they are doing what Gindi is doing here is that they'll bombard you with really serious thoughts and feelings that they're having towards themselves, seeking comfort and validation. The next thing that they'll do is they'll sprinkle in little seeds of doubt regarding their original feelings. I know I'm not evil, I know I'm not a bad person, and then very quickly the conversation will progress from I want to end my own life to I know I'm not a bad person and I'm going to be a better person for this community, which is what happens here. Expressing feelings of wanting to harm yourself makes the other person respond to you. That's the first thing that it does. You want to make sure that they're going to talk to you. And then you explain how terrible and bad you feel to elicit sympathy from that person. And then in this case, he talks about speaking to his other female friends and explaining the situation and using that as a justification for why he should remain in the community. These messages were sent on the same day that the original accuser, whose messages we've been reading in this video, cut Gindi off. He was scared, that's why he sent these messages. However, the person that we've been talking about, who is sharing their experiences regarding Gindi, isn't the only person that Gindi has had misconduct with. You probably know about it since Blank came forward to you. I feel like it's safe to bring it up to you too. Back in October, I sent Elliot a fan art of himself and a nice note saying he's great, plus I've admired him. I was happy he responded and thought what I said was sweet. I thought it was just going to be it, but he started to make really inappropriate remarks towards me, and I hated the fact that I've gone down with it since I was extremely uncomfortable deep down. I still wish I had screenshots of everything before he deleted our stuff, but I feel so ashamed now knowing how many people are coming forward about him, and I wish I could have brought this up sooner so no one else would have probably gotten hurt from him. And a third. I was really obsessed with Tighnari when I reached out to him. I was showing him my art and then he suddenly turned on the vanish mode to tell me I'm hot and asked for nudes. I was heavily associating him with Tighnari, so I said okay and sent him whatever he asked for. Videos, voices, pictures. He saved some of them and kept asking for more, but whenever I didn't text, he wouldn't text again, so I figured there were some other people like me. He made me do really disgusting things and I wasn't in a clear state of mind to realise this was wrong, and he was taking advantage of my obsession and was using me. I went in and out of mental hospital meantime and started using meds. My mind got clearer and I started realising how wrong this whole thing was, not even mentioning the age gap. If you're wondering, Gindi has cleared out all of his social media and has put up a twit longer. I owe an apology. I am deeply sorry to those I hurt. It was never my intention to hurt anyone. I tried to keep it above board. I thought everything was consensual and safe. I tried to tell myself I could make it ethical with clear communication and boundaries. I was so wrong and realised this, which is why I tried to come clean to everyone I know, log off and get therapy. To those who believed in me even after I came clean, I'm sorry to let you down. Please do not use this as an opportunity to bash other cast members or the game. No one knew. What is true? All of the screenshots of the chat logs. Yes, all of the cringy adult talk. Yes, I did threaten self-deletion if it got out. I didn't think through the severity of that. I'm sorry. I never intended to change someone ace. They insisted this is what they wanted. What is not true? That I knowingly did anything with anyone underage. I did not respect someone's pronoun changes. I was not waiting for someone 15 to turn 18. I flatly rejected them. RE other questionable practices. There are times where I've streamed in my boxers, but there was never any inappropriate intention nor focus meant by this. I did not realise it could be interpreted that way, and I apologise profusely to anyone who was made uncomfortable by this. In addition, I did not engage with anyone in the ways described above outside those 3 people I was involved with. I understand what I did was wrong and inappropriate, and to the best of my ability tried to confess as much to those I contacted. I reacted inappropriately to situations where I felt desired and caused harm to so many people in the process. I understand that my actions have consequences and am committing myself to accepting responsibility while taking the effort to get and do better. I object. Sir, you were in DMs saying, well, there's no evidence of this, bringing it up as a point? What are you talking about? You didn't say, no, I didn't do those things in the DMs. You said there's no evidence of it. It was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? And no, it wasn't just cringy adult talk. You knew what you were doing. You knew about these people's traumas. You knew that. To downplay it and just call it cringy adult talk shows that you don't understand the severity of it. Making the effort to get and do better implies you intend to return to this community, which you shouldn't do. You say in the DMs that it was an isolated incident, but you're proven wrong by the fact there was not 1, not 2, but 3 people. Not an isolated incident. The voice actor of Oz was replaced for adultery. I believe you should probably get replaced as well, and never be seen in any kind of works ever again. It blows my mind the things that some people focus on in this community. Gui Niang, the voice actor for Kokomi in Chinese, was harassed because people didn't like her character's kit. This guy just gets to delete his entire social media for actually having adult misconduct. I sincerely hope Mihoyo or Hoyoverse recast Tighnari. Gindi does not deserve a place in the VA community, or any community for that matter. You don't deserve to be rewarded for your misconduct. To those affected by Gindi, I want you to know it's not your fault. You are not the reason that other people were hurt. As somebody who has gone through this, it is not your responsibility to stop somebody else hurting others. You did nothing wrong, and I'm so thankful that you decided to speak up, because now we do know. We do know what kind of a person he is, and we will shun him. I promise you that. I don't care how much people love Tighnari. I know that it's a beloved character for many people, but he is not his voice actor. I, for one, will be a member of the Genshin Impact community that will uplift you, share your story, and stand beside you. I firsthand also know what it's like to have your trauma used against you for somebody else's gain. I believe you. I support you. I'm going to leave the video here for you guys. Again, the Google Doc is linked down in the description if you want to read the full thing. As well as that, all of my socials are linked there, my Twitter, my Patreon, my Etsy store, if you want to check those out as well. Please stay safe, and I'll see you soon.